Okay, so today we have another problem. I believe we are on problem number 9. This is our 9th problem, where we are dividing fractions using a visual model, and we have a word problem that we're going to use to help us figure it out. All right, so Sarah bought 12 feet of fabric to make curtains. She needs to cut into 1/4 or 1/4 foot sections. How many sections of fabric will she have? We're going to use the cubes method for us to figure out what we need to do and what information is useful for us. So the first thing we're going to do is circle any numbers in units. And so I see 12 feet. That's a unit. We also see 1/4 foot. That's a unit. And so now we need to underline the question. The question is, well, how many sections of fabric will she have? And so now we need to box in. Anything that helps us to understand what operation needs to be used. So she bought 12 feet of fabric to make some curtains, and she's going to cut what she bought. So this is her total. That's what she has. She's going to cut it up into 1/4 foot sections. So each of them will be 1/4 foot section. That lets us know that it is division. Division, we know that the dividend is the total amount. And in this case, she has 12. Okay? And she is going to cut it up into equal parts of 1/4. So we have a fraction, which lets us know that we need to go back to our dividend and turn that into a fraction as well. If we don't see it in fraction form, a whole number, then we know it's always over 1. So a whole number is always over 1 in fraction form. All right, and so now we're going to try to model that. So the first thing that we need to do is remember our columns. Columns is C, ceiling to the floor, and we also need to remember about our rows. Rows, right to left, are. All right, so the first thing we need is 1 column, and we need 4 rows. So we have 1 column. This is our 1 column here. I'll back out. So we have our 1 column here. And we have a total of 4 rows. So we have 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 rows. Okay, now we need to know, well, what do we need to shade in? Well, we're going to shade in 12 columns, but we only have 1 column. And so remember, what that means is that we are going to add on to our original model. Alright, so we should have, that's 1, 2, 3, that's 3, that's 4, 5, and you don't add on to the original model. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you should have 12 columns. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 rows, and we're going to shade in each of those rows. Remember, those are blue. And before I forget, remember that our original rows, we continue on with that as well. Sorry about that. So each of these will be filled in. Alright, and now we need to shade in our rows, and we're shading in one of the original rows. One of the original rows. Remember, it was originally 1 column by 4 rows. Alright, so what we're looking for now is, well, how many column parts or blue marks do we have? And in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12. times 4, which is 48. And our rows we have, originally it was 1. So our answer is 48 over 1, or as a whole number, it's 48. Okay. And so now what we're going to do is just check our work, make sure that we have the right answers. So if I take 48 over 1 and multiply it by the divisor, which was 1/4. In multiplying of fractions, we always multiply straight across. So 48 times 1 gives me 48. 1 times 4 gives me 4. And I can reduce that by dividing both by 4. So 48 divided by 4 gives me 12. 4 divided by 4 gives me 1. So it's the same thing as 12 over 1, or 12. And that is what we had in our dividend, 12 over 1. All right. Thanks for watching.